You're listening to The Podcast. For grain merchandisers, by grain merchandisers. Join us in our good-humored attempt to serve as a voice of reason in an industry fraught with misconceptions and half-truths. And now, from deep in America's heartland, this is The Elevator's Cut.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of The Elevator's Cut. I'm one of your hosts, Roger Gattis.
And I'm your other host, Jason Wheeler. And
Speaking of wheels, third wheel, who's this today?
We're glad to have our guest, returning guest, old friend of the show. You haven't seen his face maybe, but we have seen his face.
Radio face.
There
face
we go.
for radio.
We have Michael Kaeb. Am I saying that right?
You are.
Okay. Michael Kaeb, we just met a few minutes ago.
He flew into Kansas City just for this thing.
That's right.
It's a good thing my wife will not be watching this because she does not know I flew in for this.
She'll be in good company.
She thinks I'm working.
The people not watching this. But we're glad to have you. So Michael has been with White Commercial, which is, what's that? What is White Commercial?
What is White Commercial?
This?
I have. Turns out it's an education company that does training and futures brokerage.
Sorry, I didn't mean to hit you with the trick questions right off the bat here.
Like, I see how this is going to go.
Signs a paycheck.
No, so Michael is a coworker of ours. Used to be a customer of
so many
ours.
people a lot of time, which is starting off with coworker.
What?
Just to start it off with coworker, it'd have been so much simpler.
That's good. Can we, Randy? No, it's fine. It's fine. We only have so much time, so we're just going to keep powering through, even when we mess up. This is all planned, and it's great. So we're glad Michael came to join us. We've known Michael a good bit as a White Commercial customer, which means that is code for he used to run a grain elevator, and of all types of grain elevators, a co-op, which Roger and I, of course, love if you listen to the show for much time. Right, Roger?
Yes.
Yes. We love it. We love the boards. We love the wood paneling, whatever it is.
Had it all. Had a board and wood paneling.
See? I mean,
it was a full package, as they say.
Did you have how was that retirement program, though?
Golden handcuffs, as they say.
Oh, yeah?
See, my experience was more handcuffs, less gold.
I mean,
you guys got out.
They didn't work.
That's right. Yeah. You guys got out.
Right out of them.
Yeah.
No, so you have been with White Commercial for what, a couple of years?
Yeah, a little over 2 years.
All right, good.
2.5. Yep.
We've loved it. It doesn't even seem that long, or seems longer. I don't know. Whatever's good. That's what we like.
That's always good.
Okay, but so the reason I said you've been working out in the West. And when I say the West, White Commercial is not a huge company. So from the southern end of Texas up into Canada, right?
Yes, that's correct.
And then west of Kansas City.
Pretty much, yep.
All right. So just a little territory out there. He's been slogging along it. So first of all, how is the West right now? Doing all right?
How is the West? That's a good question. So folks down south are starting with wheat harvest, and I think in general there's some areas. It's like anything, right? The averages exist because there's really good, really bad, and everything in between. And I haven't heard anything that's super crazy. Out and talked to a gentleman in kind of the panhandle of Texas, and they've had some hail. I saw some pictures of really big CD-sized hail.
Well, there's a reference the younger folks may not get.
yeah. Compact disc, you mean?
Yes.
Certificate of deposit.
There you go. 5 inches. I don't know. But big hail. Okay. And so, you got some of that going on. Get up into Colorado, and it looks good, but that can be gone tomorrow, this afternoon. Depends what comes over the mountains. But, yeah, fall crops are going in. There's places that are wet and they didn't get in like other areas, but in general, nothing super out of the ordinary. So, yeah, there's your update.
All right, that took a while to just say that everything's fine and normal. I'll just give you a hard time. Okay, so you ran a co-op in Northern Illinois, Northeast Illinois?
Nah, I like to say East Central.
All right. All right. Well,
No, you say
you're
Northeast.
an hour from Chicago. That's north.
I'm
buddy.
2 hours, and if you say Northeast Illinois, what do people think?
Chicago.
Yeah, I'm not Chicago.
Yeah, I mean,
I nothing to do with Chicago.
The Sears Tower casts a shadow that hits your town. That's all I'm trying to say.
It's the Willis Tower.
What's Sears, Jason? Tell us of your
you
tale.
can get
man.
you can get CDs there. And Craftsman wrenches.
Bulls
There
and
you go.
Bears and sports teams.
Yep.
So,
Those are sports teams.
anyways, yes. And
in
so,
Chicago,
So there we go.
coincidentally.
Full circle.
So, anyways, but now you've been out west and you've come in contact with a lot of other, grain elevators, similar types of co-ops even.
Sure.
And so what has surprised you about, I guess you were at your co-op, you know how you guys did your business and everything. What surprised you about how other people, or is there any surprise?
Yeah. I think the thing that comes to mind right away is just the variety. We grew corn and beans. And I mean, you had the occasional guy that had some wheat, but that was usually a livestock thing. And there was one terminal in the area that took wheat, and that's where they went. I think my first year there, which has been quite a while ago, we handled a little bit, just enough to get the boot, screw up the boot of the leg, and then for the next 6 months we'd get rejected every once in a while for wheat and the beans, and but we did
blend better, buddy.
Well,
I'm just telling you.
yeah. What was fun is 2 years later you get rejected for a load, and they're like, wheat in your beans, and we're like, we haven't handled wheat for 2 years.
It worked last time.
But you're full, that's
Right, yeah.
But anyway, so that aside, but yeah, we handled corn and beans, and farmers, we're in a pretty productive area. Corn's good. Not
what's
good
your
year.
Topsoil? 1,000 feet deep?
Something
right?
like that.
It's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
But not good corn. They complain, and it's 180, and
Well, that's rational.
I say that.
It's subjective terms, man.
Right.
But corn and beans. So to answer your question, get out west, and there's all kinds of stuff.
Lovely Milos,
Milos,
sunflowers,
which it's taken some getting used to. They just call them flowers, and for
Oh, really?
where I grew up, there's
What flavor of flower?
right. There's a lot of them, but I've learned that if they're talking flowers at a grain elevator, they typically mean sunflowers. So you got millet. There's more varieties of wheat than I can keep track of, and so it just fascinates. I think that's fascinating to me. Is we had corn and beans, and we high volumes of it, but you get out west and they've got all these different products and different bids for the different products and different seasons for the different products, and it's a lot to track.
And they can store and ignore for years.
Yeah.
Because there's no humidity and no insect
Yeah,
pressure.
yeah. So, and that is interesting. There's certain areas where that's. I'm thinking kind of. I talked to a customer of ours in northern Colorado, and that's what they said. These farmers will take a product that can just put away and mill it and you put it away, and that's their kind of insurance policy. They stick it in the bin, shut the door, and then wait, and then 3 years later they do get hailed out of something, and now they need some money and they don't have any crops, so they crack the door open and pull the millet out.
Certificate of deposit.
Yeah. So it's just it's a whole different world, and it's been fun to learn, and I've got a long ways to go. I know you didn't have me on here to be an expert of anything because I've listened to this podcast.
You'd be the first if you were.
So anyway,
And of those, is any of that hedgeable? I mean, you got wheat, corn, and beans. I mean, we all know that.
yeah, we've got we got people hedging oats, barley. We've got some folks they've been tracking barley, and they actually hedge corn. Corn futures, barley basis tracks corn basis enough that they hedge barley using corn futures, and so
It's
again,
like Milo too, right?
yeah,
Same thing.
Milo,
If you
same
can
thing.
get everyone on the same page, you can use anything to hedge with. You just everybody's got to be using the same benchmark.
Chocolate.
There you go. If you can convince people that's the way to go, there you go. It's basis, man. It makes up the difference. That's the real world.
I don't know that I agree with that completely yet.
Okay, well.
But
Hash it out.
we'll get
Hash
there.
As an avid listener of this podcast, this is why I come. To
You're an
download.
avid listener? Is there a support group?
I've listened to the first few.
Sounds like a affliction.
Okay, so
Speaking of afflictions,
there we go. Roger will get it figured out. So, a couple things. So now that we have I guess a subject matter expert here on how the grain business works, there's a few questions or a couple questions that Roger wanted someone else's input on.
Oh boy.
That we read from time to time, and we've brought up similar types of questions on the podcast. As an avid listener, you know this.
Right.
What are people even talking
it's
about?
Just you see, you read, you hear all of these colloquialisms, if you will,
Okay.
or if you won't, I don't care. That's what I'm going to say.
Okay.
That get thrown about all the time. And nobody knows. It's like mission statements for businesses, right? People throw these around. No one knows what they mean. They don't mean anything.
Mm-hmm.
But we need them. We need to say something right.
Okay, so one of the questions, or colloquialisms, as Roger would say. I don't know what that word means, so if I said it incorrectly, it's not my fault. Not my fault. I don't know. Okay, so here we go. This is one Roger really wants to get to the bottom of. People say, with the way the market is right now, ...
What does that even mean? ... You see that?
What does it
With
mean?
the way the market is right now, you just can't.
Has
fill
a
in the
farmer
blank.
ever come in like to the elevator and said, you said, hey, let's put some targets in, and he says, yeah, with the way the market is right now, I just...
What that means in
Okay.
my
Let's go.
experience is I don't know my break even. And
I know my break even.
I don't know my break even, and I am not going to make a decision today.
Well,
That's
and you hear that from even like end users. This is market participants. Can we use that? People that participate in the market?
Yeah.
Anybody?
Hey, we all
With the way
do.
the market is. And everybody just agrees, like, you know what that means. Oh, yeah, that's right.
With the way the market
is. I get it.
That's
What
a
does
good
that
point.
even mean?
Yeah.
thoughts and
You know what the way the
prayers.
market is? I can't push my bid any. Okay, I get that.
Thoughts and prayers.
gonna-
It's the
Yeah,
same.
What does that even mean? I love it.
It's
That
the-
should be on a shirt.
It's the ag version of that. Like it
That's
just
exactly right.
With the way the market is. So, I mean, but yeah, people say it even not in agriculture, right? Just, I mean, you're...
Look at the stonks.
Stockbrokers, they're just like,
With the way the market is, you just don't know.
well, the way the market is
You're
right,
right,
now,
I don't
you
know.
should give me money. That's
I-
like, so everybody's got their thing that they want to have happen, right?
Right.
And so, you know, I follow like these people that write for farmer newsletters and all this stuff, and
AI?
they're like, look, yeah, they're like, look, the market's way down right now, so it's probably bottoming out, so we should be seeing it improve a lot from here. Or then when the market's way up, hey, the market's up because all this stuff's happening, it should keep going. You know, every time it's always like, oh, so therefore the way the market is right now, it'll be higher later.
Yeah.
No matter
Well,
what.
I
No
think
matter what.
I
I'm
think
like,
the other
I
thing
don't
too
know.
is if you say that, there's no clarity, and so then it gives you an out no matter which way
Well,
it goes
that's
from
exactly
there.
what it is, yeah.
down the road, it's like, well, yeah, but it was doing this thing that day, and now it's this, and there's no accountability.
It's
As there shouldn't be.
so it's kind of like, so it's basically not saying anything. When you say that, you're not saying anything.
Correct.
But with a lot of words.
But it sounds like, well, so everybody wants to know, like, you're thinking of things in context and have thought through, and there's more depth to what you're about to say. So you say things like, you know, I was in the shower the other day thinking about this or whatever, or I was driving down the road. So so I want to establish this is a time I didn't have to be thinking about this, but I was anyways. And that's how big a deal this is, what I'm about to say. Like, people say this stuff, right? So I think the way the market is right now, you know, I just really think we should be holding off. And it reminds me of Tracy Hinkle, who works with us. And what he did, he's at the elevator, guys would come in and they would say, this report's coming out. What do you think it's going to say? Well, of course, nobody knows what it's going to say. If you did know what it was going to say, if you
You'd be a
did,
hedge fund.
well, one, even if you did, like sometimes it'll come out and it'll say, whoa, we got way more corn than we thought. And it's like, okay, I guess the market's down. Nope, the market's up 12 cents. And nobody, even if you know what it's going to say, you don't know what the market's going to react. So anyways, but his thing was always, no matter what they said, you know, I don't know. It could go down, but it could go up. Are you ready? Can you handle it? If it goes down, if it goes up, you should probably put in a target order, which is what he said anyways. If there's not a report coming out or
Right,
anything,
exactly.
hey, better find out what price you need. Let's put a target in for it, you know? And it's like, with the way the market is right now,
You need a target.
Yeah, I was in the shower, and I was thinking, the way the market is
You
right
gotta
now.
stop the shower talk. It's
When
making me very uncomfortable. I just need to put that out there.
I apologize, but anyways, but that's I don't,
Yeah. No, it
that's
makes
why
it-
people say it. I think.
But I think the other thing too is you can't. I mean, we like to think we're people that can remember things. And
Not me.
Yeah,
I
mean,
know I can't, but I know other people do.
God bless my dad. I don't think he'll listen to this, so I'm going to share this. But he's one of those people that like will confidently say, "Yeah, I remember the spring of '88. We got this many inches of rain," and it like the rest of us are like, "Okay." I mean, no one's going to fact check him.
That sucks, or it's great,
and
whatever.
It could be made up. So
Remember what the market was that day?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. And then you just make something up, and in fairness to my father, he's probably somewhat accurate.
Yeah.
It probably was hot and dry in general that summer, but
Good chance of that.
I mean, yeah, we can crack on that all we want, but we're all like, man, it was like '08,
Yeah,
you guys
yeah.
remember '08 and 12, that big drought in 12, and blah blah blah, and then Roger says, well, Southeast Kansas, it was even worse in 11 than it was 12.
It
and-
was. By God.
what was it?
Absolutely.
How was the market?
It was so,
So this
bad.
is- this-
the way it was terrible.
market
It was so bad.
So, because what every farmer wants is to have a great crop while everyone else has the worst crop ever. And in 11 in Southeast Kansas, it was kind of the opposite. Everybody had a great crop, and yours is terrible.
It was pretty bad.
So it was the worst of times.
Little Charles Chuck Dickens over here.
Yeah, except for the best part. So, anyways. Yeah, so let's move on. Have we
Has there
exhausted
ever
that
been a way?
question?
Is there ever been a
Apparently
way the market is that would cause someone to paint over the wood paneling in their elevator office? Can you speak to this?
Well, we did
Yeah,
paint.
keep in mind, wood paneling is a longtime sponsor of the show.
Yeah.
No, we don't
Yeah.
want to offend them.
Elevator office wood paneling.
Yeah, well, we that's all I got to say about it. We did paint ours. And
Was it a white color?
uh,
A light?
it was like I think we tried to match grain dust, so if it got we didn't have to clean
smart.
anymore.
Really?
But what I know
Okay.
about painting wood paneling,
Tell me.
you can't just roll. We thought we were just going to roll it with like a heavy brush, and you got to go back and you got to hand brush all the cracks.
You gotta get in those cracks, man. They'll get you.
And once you start, you can't stop because
Well,
if you've
obviously.
decided you're not having wood paneling, you can't.
It's a commitment.
It is. And
Yeah. So let me ask you this. You were a co-op.
Yes.
Now, how did that decision get made?
On the paint?
Yeah.
So we had a gal in the office that was well loved. She's still there. She's great. And she
Told the
decided.
board how it
yeah.
is.
I don't think she told
Did
them
you
nothing.
have to bring it up in a board? Did the
No,
board have
no.
any
Did it
comment on
How
it?
many times was it tabled?
No, we didn't. We just painted it. I'm not sure they noticed when they came in.
There you go. Well, yeah.
Wow.
So
Seems
Depends
bigger
on how
in
the
here.
market was that day.
yeah.
Did you guys expand? Yeah.
Yeah. So
Huh. So it was just did you do any of the painting, or
I
was
think
it
I
like
did.
a
Okay. I think it was just Bonnie and I at the time, and
Off-season elevator can be pretty.
yeah,
Well, that's what
we
I-
were
a
looking for stuff.
lot
to
of
do.
people are
With the way
looking
the
for their
market
help
was,
to-
Yeah. I mean, there's
Oh,
nothing else
well,
to
I
do.
imagine, yeah.
Well, that's probably just.
I don't
because-
remember what the market was, but with the way it was,
Maybe he was just out of position.
yeah, there you go.
So before we, that the wood paneling, you talk once you start, you got to do it. Do you do every room?
Yes. There was a closet. Maybe we didn't.
Okay. How about the bathroom?
We did.
I don't know how you got that stuff
Do you
to
let
here.
did you let truckers use your bathroom?
We tried not to.
Okay.
That's
how it can hold
why.
up. It
Yeah.
can hold up.
Yeah.
It'll hold up.
It-
Did you have to change colors when you went to the bathroom?
You know what? We maybe did. I don't remember
Like
now.
a nice baby blue?
We maybe started in there just to experiment to see
Maybe
if
that's the
if
key.
it's- if it
Paint
sticks
it
in
pink or
there.
something, or I don't want to
Yeah.
go in there and be
There
like,
you go.
I'm not
Hey,
going
there
in
you
I
this
can
place.
tell you from seeing some of the people I saw, it didn't matter what. The color of paint wasn't stopping anything.
Oof. All right.
Yeah.
Well, that was a good chat.
That was a completely unnecessary discussion point, but here we are.
Well, Roger was wondering out loud before we started if the paint would adhere in the bathrooms as well to the wood paneling or what. So
Yeah.
you need to sand it first or
Yeah, good paint. Good
Left
quality.
on.
All right. Okay, so our other question that we needed to get you on the record for here. You ready for this?
Let's
All
go.
right. We had with the way the market is right now.
Yep.
So I think everybody can learn from that, and you start using that
Everybody.
from now on. So that's good. People assume that people are out of position. They wonder it out loud, or they don't wonder it.
I hope this comes back.
Yeah,
to bite
they're
them.
obviously
they're obviously out of position
because they have done this thing.
So
They're out of position, obviously, and I hope it comes back.
bites them. I just Schadenfreude, right? I just
Who's
want to.
she?
Yeah, she's German.
Okay.
So there was this has been around. This is nothing new. You see this kind of behavior on X, but this last week or so, when you had the big thing about the big major bean crusher in Decatur, Illinois, dropping their bases.
Oh yeah,
80
people
cents
drop their basis really big. Yeah.
And
And
the
you
next
switched to a
day,
month,
and they
yeah.
switched months, and which is things that happen this time of year everywhere. Maybe
time of
not
year
to
is
that
it?
degree. It's middle June.
Okay.
So
That's
it
my
happens,
reference there.
right? It's nothing new for bean processors to switch their bids and or drop bids in
Nope.
summertime. It's
Nope.
not, especially when there's
I like to do it on
inversion.
the same day. It's more fun.
Yes, but
You can
so
actually.
they
yeah.
dropped it before report day, right? And then the report come out and they cut carry out number, cut how much we had left over, something like that. Something was less than expected, and so people on Twitter was just coming out like, "Yeah, I hope that bid them. I hope they're obviously out of position now because they dropped their bid." And
Yeah,
then
with the way the
went down.
market
I'm
is
like,
right now, they'd have to be.
It's like, I don't know that they dropped their basis the day before there was a rally. That seems very smart. That seems like it made their position better.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
right?
To me, it screams. I don't know how an elevator works,
Well, that's the entirety of X.
but
I mean,
but I have a profile with a picture and a name, so I've got a voice, and I'm going to make sure people hear it. But
Well, I can't wait to hear what Bill 2785 says about this.
that guy's been kicked off Twitter 10 times. He keeps
Yeah.
coming back. Let's hear what he has to
Yeah.
say.
Yeah, he's got a picture of a cow in his bio. That makes sense. He is probably
but,
from
so
the
you have
streets.
that. You have this idea, well, they're got to be out of position. I was like, how do you know what their position is?
Gotta be.
What does it even mean to be out of position?
I mean, in my
What's that
mind, that
mean?
goes straight to unhedged. But
Yeah, but
that even then, you.
you telling me a major grain company decided, you know what, we're just not hedging.
I mean,
we might be out of position tomorrow, but today,
Yeah.
by golly, we're not going.
We're going to make it back by dropping our basis.
Right? Yeah, exactly. It's like
Whoopsie.
people think there's these, these
Somebody fat-fingered it. That's
inner
what happened.
sanctum
There was a fat
rooms
finger.
of these market gurus at these companies, and there may be. I doubt it. I've met some people. They're good at their job, but they're not good at every job, right? So
That's exactly
there's
right.
probably not somebody in there that's just like, you know what? That's not how humans work.
That's such a great point.
And a lot of these places probably still use Excel to share stuff between profit centers. So don't tell me they're all this big
and
brain
not like
stuff.
Cloud Excel, like
Yeah.
save it,
Right, yeah,
and
this is
email
like-
it, and download it. Which version
Hey
is
Siri,
that?
show me how to make a pivot table. You know, that stuff. I don't even know what a
Sending it
pivot
over the
table is.
Panera Wi-Fi to the VP of .com. I don't know. It's crazy. But
Remember, these are the same people that make the decision to send wires for millions of dollars to fake accounts in China or whatever because email. Oh, okay. Click.
okay, boss. We'll go back to my solitaire game. Do
Thanks for the
people
gift
play
cards.
the gift
Two chicken and
I've
pickle.
never had anybody offer to pay for grain and gift cards before. This is great. I've avoided all the taxes.
This is like when we pay the Ford dealership, right? Target gift cards.
No taxes on
This
tons.
goes to the church, please.
Wait, there's
So yeah, but it's a great point you made. That people assume like that there's just people that know that are experts in this, and like the people that one works for a big company or writes this newsletter. It's infused with AI probably. They know things. So
Well, the
think
other
about
thing
it.
too is you say it with confidence. I mean,
That's all you need,
yeah,
confidence.
Yep. What's the saying? My brother-in-law, he's since passed. He is a great guy, but one of the things when I started teaching high school a long time ago, this is before I got in the grain business, he was the art teacher, I was the ag teacher, and so our classrooms were right next to each other, and he always would
Right.
Is there alphabetical order classroom?
Yeah, it must be. I missed something there, but
I get it.
anyway, he would always just say, puff your chest out and act like you know what you're talking about. And
That's exactly right.
I think that's what's happening on Twitter they're clearly out of position. Well, I'm not going to question that guy. But you don't question him because of his, other tweets and context clues. But,
That's right.
But really, I mean, you say anything with conviction,
Right,
people are going to give in.
That's your
your
human
neighbor.
nature.
Your neighbor made a whole career out of that. Dale Carnegie.
My neighbor. I think he's buried in
Right.
Belton,
Well, your neighbor,
which is
his body's
close
there.
to the city I live in, but that's okay. Yeah. No, I learned that intramural refereeing. There's no video replays in intramural referees. So he said, look, ball goes out of bounds, blow the whistle, and just point confidently in one direction. It does not matter. People aren't going to argue. If you blow the whistle and then think about it and try to say, okay, they had a red shirt on, I think, which way are they going? Like, now, it doesn't matter if you're right or wrong. You're going to get an argument.
Get eaten alive.
People are going to argue with
Yeah.
you. Don't even think about it. Just blow the whistle and point what direction. Who cares?
It goes back to being decisive, right? Just make the best decision with the best information you have at that moment.
Yep.
Whether you're wrong or right doesn't matter. You just got to make the decision.
Yeah, just get after it, man. So that's good. What were we talking about?
Yeah.
Colloquialisms.
Well, have you asked the guest if there's anything he would like to discuss?
He got his chance before the show. No, is there something else you'd like to discuss?
No,
You have a lot of words written down.
Yeah. Well, so Michael, then we'll turn the page. Not physically, but I'm going to stay on this
Jimmy
page.
Page.
But anyways, Michael is our in-house. A lot of people would assume that Roger would be the AI expert at White Commercial.
Nobody would assume.
But it's actually Michael. So, a couple things. Roger did find out something interesting about the podcast on Copilot. What were you on?
No. This was a shout out to our longtime listener, Adam Baldwin.
Friend of the
I'm
show.
Your Farmer. Yeah,
He's been on the show.
He's a friend because he's been on the show. Right.
Yeah.
That's
And we went down
what
and
makes
visited
you
him.
friends.
That's good.
Being on your podcast before you can be friends. Anyway, he said a thing. He had asked ChatGPT, I think it was. What does a farmer need to do? What's resources out there to help them be better at marketing grain? And listening to this podcast somehow was at the top of the list.
Number one.
So that tells
tell
me
you what.
Skynet is nowhere close to taking over everything.
Know the markets.
We were obviously out of position, and they didn't even pick up on it. So I feel confident that humans are going to be making decisions.
Who else was on that list? I mean, was it a solid list?
Nope. Well, I don't think we are allowed by legals to mention the other people on there,
Okay.
but let's just say it was mixed company. There's two other people that've seen that thing, at least two, and then they get it, so they can.
People with very different philosophies than ours, right?
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Philosophies.
Some people year of 9 charts, and some people just all the things.
Year of 9 chart. Have you heard of the Year of 9 charts?
I have.
All
I've
right.
seen it even.
Yeah. Do they?
It's made the rounds.
Yeah. And
Listen, guys, it's only 2025. We're a long way away, so we're going to have to.
4 years, I think.
Yeah. Well, it's about as far as you can get because, it's 5 years behind us.
What's
and 4 years
the
to come.
speaking of charts? What's the most interesting basis chart you've ever seen?
Just
One without spreads.
just saw. Yeah, we see lots of those. We just saw one this week.
I'm excited for this story.
I don't know. There's HIPAA's involved, so I don't know what we're allowed to share.
They're not endangered anymore.
Is that?
I saw them at the zoo.
No, so I don't. Roger and I teach a course at the University of Arkansas.
We instruct.
Whatever
be
you call
clear.
it. So we share the responsibilities of making sure the computer graded their stuff properly.
Right,
Or something. I don't know. And we have to respond to emails. We're like, yeah, don't worry about it. Get it to me tomorrow.
That sounds like another
I
story.
am not a real professor.
Professor Gattis.
Yeah, they say professor, like, or doctor.
Tenured doctor.
They
You know
just
what?
assume doctor, and I'm like, that was
when I
my
was-
dad's name, but it
Are
wasn't.
we in
either.
Kansas or Missouri right now?
Yes.
Kansas.
Yeah.
We're in Kansas.
So I student taught in Kansas.
Okay.
And not too far from here, probably Lewisburg.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, so just down the road a ways. But when I was student teaching, I had somehow or another a student pretty early on in my student teaching started calling me Dr. Kaeb, and I never corrected him. I figured that was the cheapest doctorate I was going to get.
There you go.
Yeah.
Student teaching ended, and that was the end of my
It's like
doctorate.
I learned from a doctor in my high school.
Yeah, so anyway,
Honorary-
that's-
Yeah,
I
'cause you
gotta-
went to K-State, right?
Yeah, K-State.
You should list it on your resume that you got an honorary doctorate. They'd be like, who gave it to you?
The
Some like
Lewisburg?
like a
15-year-old.
freshman at
The
Lewisburg
Lewisburg
High.
Cider Mill.
Yeah.
We got the donuts.
Right. That was a good experience, Doctor. Here I'm saying it now, Mr. Jim Morgan. He was a good teacher. He just retired.
Nice.
Okay. Shout out to Jimbo. Dr. Jim Morgan.
I don't
He
know.
is today.
He is today.
Honorary doctorate from Tech podcast.
No certificate required.
Yeah, there we go. Well, we can ship
Great
you
guy.
one if you want.
Great guy.
So, anyways, we do this class,
Mhm.
and you asked about
Basis charge.
basis
Yeah,
charges.
yeah.
So we've got they have to draw one. So this is one of the things we actually do have to look at and grade that the computer can't do. And so yeah, we received a pretty good one this
Just recently.
summer session.
Okay.
So it looks. What does it look like? Like
Dwayne said it looked like a sine wave.
yes.
So like,
Which he's a former.
Sine
talk
is-
about weird things. Prior to running an elevator, he was a nuclear engineer on submarines. So I don't know what sine.
it's almost
means.
like teaching
I don't do math.
freshman ag,
But he knew
Roger.
that it's like up and down. It's like the thing, the way the market is.
Drew
The
a
way
thing.
the market is.
yeah.
Up,
Hold on, I
down.
can't-
Yeah, if he'd have put at the top with the way the market is right now, I think
100%.
I'd have been like, all right,
You can
don't even have to
graduate the
take the
class
rest of the
now.
class.
You're
yeah,
done.
it's over, dude.
Straight A's.
Anyways,
Better hope no one's listening to this. It's in that class. They're just
Yeah.
going to start writing with the
Well,
way
it's
the
too late now. That
They're
was
too
already,
Oh, it's
young
done.
for that to be listening to this mess.
oh, yeah. Joe Rogan lasts too long. They can't switch over from that to this. I got too much time.
Yeah.
spin on
So
that
yeah,
stuff,
that
so.
was probably the most interesting one.
That was really good. And yeah, this week I haven't even told you about this yet, but it was late last night. I got a email from a student, and so the
Man,
classic
A university employee that checks emails on Sunday nights.
Father's Day,
Good
comes to my
nonetheless.
phone, dude.
Unbelievable.
I was sitting at the ice cream shop with my family, and I read this to
You're
my kids,
devoted.
and they thought I was reading off some satire internet website.
The Onion.
And then they're like, "Wait a second, this is real." I'm like, "Yeah, dude." So, anyways, yeah. So the dog ate my homework. This excuse.
This was excuse email. Those are
Yes.
the best from
Which,
college students.
we
They're
don't.
very lame anymore. I like to think when I was in college, they were the best. I'm sure
What
they
did
were
the dog
terrible
do?
as well.
So in this one, the dog ate their computer charger. not even. I mean, you know what they say? Like, if it's crazy enough, it has to be true or whatever.
Is it, though?
Yeah, but just use a cat or something. I mean,
Well, so we said
I
you're
saw
our AI.
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I know what happens.
I did. I joked. I said I should write back. I'm a cat person. You fail. Or something. No, I don't ever care. I'm like, yeah, get in tomorrow. Who cares? It's fine.
Let me go through this step by step.
Yeah.
So the dog ate their charging cord.
Uh-huh.
And yet
just enough
somehow-
time to quick send the email.
Then they still sent an email before the power went out.
You can send emails from your phone, but you
You
can't
do-
Oh, you
my
can't
God.
do.
Blackboard from your phone. I don't
Oh,
know.
okay.
I don't know. Maybe. I've never tried to Blackboard from my
Then on
phone.
Zoom, you can just unpinch the Zoom. I've seen people do it. I've tried to spread the word when people want to take pictures with iPads at meetings of slides. Like you could do it with your phone and just unpinch that thing. Little to big. Put that iPad away, boomer.
Hey, see. So, anyways, yeah. So they're good excuse out there. So as our AI expert at White Commercial now,
About out of time,
do
I
you
think.
think that sounds like an AI generated excuse?
No.
I read you the whole email.
Yeah, I think AI would have done a better job.
Okay, that's kind of where I was at.
that's-
Yeah.
there was enough computer power left.
Can you imagine that?
So
Hey,
like,
Odessa, give me a excuse from homework.
well, like, I mean, even if that is really what happened, put that into AI and say, generate me a better excuse. I don't know.
Yeah.
Knock off the socks of this instructor so I don't fail.
Yeah.
Hey, I'd be like, have you considered killing the dog in your excuse? Yeah. Like, I didn't even find out what happened to the dog.
Attach
You should
picture.
act. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Can you send me the autopsy report?
Yeah, I need a picture of the charger.
Yeah.
I need a picture of your dead animal, please. A video, actually.
Yeah, you can't
Show
find
me you
those.
burying this thing.
So this is the kind of thing we needed to have you in to
Yeah,
talk about, Michael. So where you?
I usually use it to generate images.
Okay.
And you do some really good ones. That's
Hey, it's prompts. It's
Phil
all-
told me to pound sand one time, I think, when I asked him a question that I'd already asked 18 times. And you right there on Slack with me pounding sand on a beach. This anguished look on my face. It was great.
Literally,
I had khakis on. It was great.
he
All
was on the
right.
beach and both fists.
Just pounding away.
It's just,
It's wonderful. You never know what's going to pop up on Slack.
I'm a
with this
visual
guy.
learner.
It's
you know,
great.
and so
That's good. Now, have you done the AI video? I've seen these making the rounds now.
The baby
yeah.
video.
How do you do that?
the baby. Yeah.
Baby.
Randy, get on that. The baby video.
I've
get our
I've
TikTok
played
going.
around a little bit with video, but I'm not a fan. To me, it's
Can you do it with like just your basic Chat GPT? It'll make a video. Or
I don't know about Chat GPT, but I can't even think of what it's called right now. I used one. And so there's 2 ways to get it set up. So there's like a quick version. So I did a 2-minute. They give you a script, you look at the camera and you read the script. And so in 2 minutes, then it kind of learns you. Or there's I think it's 30 minutes. They give you a 30-minute script and you read. And so then it's picking up the way you enunciate, all that stuff.
Right.
And then you can use that. But just even with the 2-minute one, I did that. And then I literally took the first chapter of the Art of Grain Merchandising and took the first couple paragraphs of the chapter 1 and put it in there, and it just read it as if I was talking.
That was pretty amazing. I do remember seeing that.
It's a cheap I didn't pay. It's a free trial, which I don't know if I canceled, but anyway, that's
You'll find out soon enough.
Brought to you by Rocket Money. Sorry.
chicken and pickles.
Right.
But anyway, so it was a free trial, and I just did the 2-minute, and so it wasn't good enough that you could tell it wasn't me. But
you can pay for the deep fake version. If you want.
I would think, and it's impressive. Now that being said, I think if you're going to use it, in our business, if we were going to use it for something, training or something, I think it would be better to use one of us. I just think I'm not ready for White Commercial, who has 18 employees, 20 employees, to suddenly have some model doing videos of training in a suit somewhere. That's not you got to be.
I don't even have a suit. So.
You got to be aware of.
Hold on. So, okay. This just came to me. So, how about if AI has the more information or video it has or audio of you speaking, the better it can replicate you.
Don White.
So, no. Well, what I'm saying is, world leaders, there's infinite amount. So the VSDA could say that Donald Trump is doing something to make corn prices go up, right? That's the next step. VSDA.
Wait. Hold on. Is your whole premise based upon that up to this point, everything on Twitter is real and true? We need to ascertain that first.
You're onto something.
But I mean,
I bet in a matter of 5 minutes you could make a video of Trump saying some stuff. Here's what the market is doing.
But then someone's got an algo that de-algos the
no.
algos.
So I say VSDA.
Sounds like something you could
explain
sell
what
them for.
happened with that. What was the whole story?
Someone
fake
just-
USDA tweeted and people thought it was real, right?
Right, but it clearly said in the handle VSDA.
Right.
There was no U.
But V's kind of look like you. It's just pointy or
Especially if
round.
it's
How
Latin.
much
Have you ever seen a Latin U? Come
Sweet
on, man.
tea you've had.
Yeah. So what happened
That
though,
caused
as
a
a result of it? Right. Didn't the markets move and get kind of weird for a bit?
No, I think some traders that talked their positions
See, I was
were
going to
out of
say
position.
someone was out of position.
Somebody- aha.
because of the way the market was that day.
Yeah.
They
Okay.
went out of-
Full
now
circle.
we get it.
Full
Okay.
circle.
So it didn't really affect anything.
Your time puck is blank.
So we got to most everything I wanted to discuss. So I appreciate Michael you taking the time to come on down.
Absolutely.
And
Spending more time in an airplane than in the studio just to come out here for us. That's
Absolutely.
really something.
Gonna work while I'm here.
There you go.
It's been fun.
so
We too work on this show.
it's been a pleasure. The audience is out there, which we don't ever look at.
Fourth wall.
Randy told us today that we should. So sorry, we didn't again. But anyways, I think we started looking at him, right? This guy knows.
Right there.
He's
Straight-
been looking at him the whole time.
Right down the barrel.
He's the biggest pro we've got on this show. So, all right. Well, appreciate your time
You bet.
and
to do
everyone
it.
else's
Thank
time.
you for showing up
You
and
bet.
putting
You
your
guys-
reputation on the line yet again.
We're spending more
it's
time
a
than anybody
blast.
listening to this because they're not going to listen the whole way through, or they're going to listen to it like 2 times, and all that stuff. So, I mean, you guys really appreciate your time, Randy and the crew here. So, anyways, we will catch you next time. As always, thanks for downloading and listening. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the podcast and share it with folks you know in the business.
And if you'd like to reach out anytime about anything at all or have any show ideas, you can always find us on Twitter at ElevatorsCut. Follow us there, tweet at us, DM us, and we'll always respond.
Till next time, for Roger, I'm Jason.
For Jason, I'm Roger.
Thanks for listening to the Elevators Cut.
Oh.